Evening everyone, it is Liam the Deaf Dude Metalhead, and today is a video all about gifts from amazing people in the music community out there who watch my videos. I talk to regularly and just awesome dudes in general. Also, there's one brand new band for a 2023 release, as well as some jewellery, because I have been luckily sponsored for this video by a company called Wolfa, which I'm assuming is out of China. Again, the same kind of deal as I've done before. I wear kind of like skull rings a lot, and I wear stuff on stage and I do stuff for consecration, all that kind of thing, to be the closet goth kind of vibe, and you know, all that kind of jazz that I do. And yeah, they sent me some rings of my choice. I got to pick, I think it's 4. Yeah, 4 by memory, all stainless steel. And I was a bit, I was a bit skeptical, because this kind of thing you don't normally get for free on the internet, and a lot of them are fake, but these guys are really genuine. They emailed me properly, spoke to me first, had a conversation, so I said, okay, sure, I'll try it out. And yeah, and I must admit I'm quite impressed. And I picked 4 rings all for one finger, and I've got this little number here, which I've been wearing quite a lot. This has probably been my go-to one at the moment. I've wear this a lot for work, and it blends in with other ones I wear. Also got this little Jolly Roger one here. It reminds me of that German band Running Wild. It's got a little pirate ship steering thing on there. And then your generic skull band ring there. See if the camera focuses on it enough. Which I thought was quite cool. And then this really little number here, like 2 skulls merged into one. And yeah, I mean, stainless steel rings, you can't really go wrong quality wise. They last forever. I'm not one for fancy jewellery and that kind of thing. I mean, I've got really small, like childlike hands, so it probably looks ridiculous on me. But each to your own. I'll put a link below, and you can go check them out for yourselves. But I was very impressed with that, especially that one. I like that one a lot, so I will wear that for the rest of this video. So yeah, go check it out, and thank you to the people at Wolfa for sending me that. It's not every day people like that reach out to me and ask to kind of check out their products. So yeah, check them out. Right, let's talk about some music. That's why you're all here, really. Now, this blew my mind, these packages. So I've got 2 packages from people I wasn't expecting, and then I got a CD sent to me from a band who wanted me to review their album, and I happily obliged, because I actually wanted it anyway. Now, this has already been shown by a few people, so you should hopefully know how good it is already. This is a Turkish band, formed in the 90s. They only put 2 demos out, and then maybe one in the early 2000s or late 2000s, and this is their actually debut for 2023, a full-length debut that is. And that is the band Sermon with the album Till Birth Do Us Part. Now, this was put out through Befouled Records, which I've never heard of, but I'm sure it's a Turkish label. I'm guessing anyway. I could be dead wrong though. Now, I believe this band is a 3-piece. It's got programmed drums, but you wouldn't really know about it. Some of the songs you could probably tell in some sections, but it's very well done, so don't let that put you off. But this is some really well crafted doom death. But what I will say is, if you told me this was the new Paradise Lost album, if they'd done one, I would have believed you. The only thing that would give it away is the vocals, because obviously they're different to Nick's. But these guys very much sound like modern Paradise Lost. If you like I can't remember the name of the fucking song now, but it's like when they got back to doing that kind of really doomy death stuff, and they had that really popular song. It sounds like that song, but the name escapes me. But each song on here, it has a kind of like icon vibe to it, and it's got that latter day albums where it's got that really heavy, crunchy guitar tones, lots of reverby, lovely melodies with some wah in there, very much like Greg Orr's style soloing, which is kind of weird, because he's a very unique guitar player, and they've kind of emulated that in a way. But there isn't many bands that try to, well, I don't think they're trying to sound like it, but they sound like Paradise Lost. And you get so many bands that sound like Bolt Thrower and that kind of thing, and they kind of plaster that influence on their albums. This doesn't give that away at all. I didn't have no expectations of what this was going to sound like, apart from it was good doom death. And I have some trusted friends on the music community that have already told me how good this was. And I agree, 100%. This is a really solid album. It's very one pace though. It doesn't change up too much. All the songs are very similar throughout. It's got a certain structure to it, where it's very ploddy, melodic, heavy, doomy, which I love all that kind of thing, so it doesn't bother me in the slightest. But if you're looking for variety in an album, this really doesn't have that. It is all one kind of style. But it's a solid album, and it's a band. I think the singer in this is also in the band Forgotten, if you know them. Another great Turkish kind of doomy death band as well. They've been around for ages. So yeah, really grateful for the guy sending me that out. It was brilliant, and I really am enjoying that. So if you like Paradise Lost, all that kind of jazz, go check out Sermon. I'll leave a link to their Bandcamp below, and you can go check it out for yourselves. So yeah, Sermon, wicked album. Now, this next package was sent to me by my buddy Colm out of Ireland. He randomly messages me now and again. If he thinks something's a bit shit, he'll pass it on, like we all do. If you're a collector and there's certain albums that don't click and you think, do I sell it? Personally for me, I'll give them away, because I'd rather have someone enjoy the music more and like appreciate it. Obviously if you spend hundreds of pounds on it, it's a bit different, but if you've got like a couple of CDs you're not really into, you just pass them on, and then someone else will get better, you know, more of a kick out of it, or they're after it, that kind of thing, and you've done something really good there. So in the background is the comp he sent me, which is his Debut Multi Productions, which is a French label, more in the black metal realm, and it's a comp of some really cool bands, so well happy with that, because I like a comp. But what he fucking sent me was amazing. So it's 2 records and 2 CDs, and I expected none of this, so this was a really nice surprise. I will show you the CDs first. This one is Horrenda, which is an American black metal band that most people will know. She is a European lady, but she now lives in the States. And this is a live album that was exclusively released in the Metalhead box on CD. I think before this was just a digital release or something like that. And this was recorded in, I think it's 2022. Yeah, 2022. So yeah, really cool. I like Horrenda, very raw, pagan-esque kind of black metal, and she does, you know, some wicked riffs. So yeah, that was quite cool. Nice little live album. And then he likes to send me stuff from Ireland, because Ireland's a really rich country for music. You have to kind of dive deep though, because a lot of it is really underground, and a lot of the bands kind of go unnoticed, which is a shame, because there's some really cool bands, and this is one of them, and they're called, I'll try and pronounce this right, Horrenda. This is like black and death metal in the vein of like latter day Behemoth, but more death metal. And this is their album Dilatus, or something like that, which I also think is a self-release. I could be wrong though. So this came out in 2020, yes, and it's their second full length. And it's very Irish, put it this way. It's got a lot of sound bites. And I don't know Irish history and the politics behind it, but I know it's related to something between that, with the Catholics and the Protestants, something like that. And I know it's related to that and the struggles through that and that kind of thing. But it is a really good album. What I will tell you, that is a fucking fantastic album. Never even heard of this band, and I think they're instantly brilliant. Really heavy, very catchy. It's got lots of aggression in it. It's melodic. It has a lot of energy that kind of makes you understand more what the songs are about, kind of thing. And there's like a message in there. What I got from it anyway. It could be dead wrong. But I really enjoyed this. This was a complete blind to me. I had no idea what I was getting into, and it is fantastic. So go look these guys up. They're really good. So yeah, Horrenda. Is that right? Horrenda, yeah. But then he sent me 2 records, and these are great. These are really great. I'll start with the one that he told me in the message that he wasn't keen on, and he's passing it on to me because he didn't get nothing out of it. It's a Ukrainian black metal project called Skonu, and this is the album The Grand Awakening Among the Great Sleep. But when you research this, it's all in Ukrainian, so it took me ages to try and find out what the actual album was he sent me. But this is a repress on Iron Bonehead, which is a German label. The album originally came out in 2014, and this is a 2016 repress to vinyl. I think it originally came out on CD, and is a one-man project of kind of gravelly, eerie, doomy kind of black metal. It's got that blasts in there and stuff like that, but it's very much mid-paced. It's very sinister, very miserable, and it's great. It's on black wax. I don't know if it came with an inlay or not. I don't think it did. And the vinyl is just black wax. But yeah, a fucking awesome little album. I enjoyed it. It's very miserable, and I like miserable music. And yeah, very eerie as well, and I really like that in black metal. So yeah, really chuffed with that. But the one that surprised me the most, and I actually learned something from this, is this band. This is an American band from the 90s, based in Seattle, and this is their only EP from '98, and this is Thorrs Hammer with whatever it's called down there. Now, when I saw this a few years ago, I didn't know this was Doom Death. I assumed this was a Sargeist album and thought it was black metal. And looking at that, be honest, if you didn't know what it was, you'd assume it is black metal. It's totally not. This is doomy death in the vein of that kind of early winter sound. Very chunky, very heavy, and very raw. And this is like a live EP recording of their only stuff they ever did. And it's fucking awesome. Now, the lady here is in the band, and she does vocals too. And she was a Norwegian, what are they called when they go across to the other side of the world? Exchange student, that's the word. And she was an exchange student at the time and joined this band. And two of the members of this band today, they don't exist anymore. She went back to Europe and finished her degree. But the other two guys in this band formed the band Skonu, which are now, you know, the current band Skonu, if you know them. So they're in that now. But this is Doomy Death, and I believe they played Roadburn Festival a few years ago by demand of Mr. Celtic Frost himself. He basically told them, play a show, and they did, and you can now buy that, I think. There's like a live album of the songs on here. So yeah, really cool to hear that. So yeah, I mean, it still boggles my mind he even sent me this, because I had no idea what it was. It comes in this lush little gatefold, or gate sleeve thing, I don't know what they call these, with some artwork, and it did come with a sticker which I've stuck down there. But yeah, I mean, it's really heavy, really no frills, just big chunky riffs, big heavy bass. It's fucking, yeah, just a solid album. Well, EP, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, well happy with that. So thank you, Colm, for all that. I really do appreciate that. And the last little package I got was a really random one. I basically was on Instagram and I was speaking to the singer Paul from Enchantment, home to Blackpool, and is also home of the £1 burger. I learnt today after watching some videos on YouTube. So if you haven't heard of that, go check that out. But he was talking about this album, and it's a black metal album that he found in a charity shop. Now this is called Befouled Dare, which is a Greek-Serbian band that put out this EP in 2019. It's the only thing they've ever done. And he said, did you want it? And I said, well, yeah, if you don't want it, I'll happily have it, because it's very good, very blasty, very melodic, in the vein of Emperor, that kind of vein of black metal. And he said that he paid like 25p for it, so I was quite impressed, because I've never seen anything like that at a charity shop around my part. Anyway, so yeah, that was the whole point of the conversation. But then what he actually sent me is insane. So he sent me a load of CDs and a CD DVD. So he sent me this Behemoth live DVD, called that, and it's got the Blu-ray and 2 discs for the set. So that was really fucking awesome, because I do like Behemoth, and I have seen them live, and they're a fantastic live band. So I haven't watched it yet, but I've listened to it, and it's great. So really chuffed with that. And I also added to my Father Befouled collection. He sent me 2 Father Befouled releases. This is the album Morbid Destitution of Covenant, put out through Cruciator Productions, which is a French label. This one came out in 2010 as the second full length. And then he sent me the live album called Anointed in Darkness, which was recorded in 2020. Now, Father Befouled, a US death metal band from Atlanta. Justin Stubbs, I think, is the main guy behind it. He did have a YouTube channel similar to this kind of thing. I don't know if he still does it, but he did have a YouTube channel and spoke about his music and that kind of thing. So that was really cool. And yeah, doomy death metal, more in the vein of like Autopsy Worship. They're a fucking great band. Really lo-fi, really raw, angry, heavy, slow. So yeah, my kind of thing. And the icing on the cake, and this blew my mind because I've actually been after this for quite a while. And as you know, if you live in the UK, US postage is rank. So Paul's obviously rich because he had a spare copy of this. And this is the band Graverape, who are based out of Detroit. And this is their debut full-length from 2020. Now, it's not every day that someone sends me something called Graverape and they put a big smile on my face. It's just fucking brilliant. So this is proper autopsy, doomy death metal, HM2 guitar tone, thick, heavy, put out through their own record label, I think called Graverape Productions? Graverape Records, sorry. And they are a two-piece. It's just brutally heavy. They're like really nasty, savage. It's got sound bites from people being shot in mass shootings, that kind of thing. Well, I think that's what it is anyway. This is the inlay here. It had a little crease on it, but I couldn't give a monkeys about that. And then you got your lyrics there, but you know when you want really disgustingly horrible, doomy death metal with that kind of thick, swampy sound and really thick guitar tone. This has also got the HM2 side of it as well, so it's got that kind of buzzsaw tone to it. It's fucking brilliant, and they go fast as well, which is always good. So yeah, if you've never checked out Graverape, I'll obviously leave a link below. You can go check it out. But massive shout out to Paul. He's a fucking legend. He's a lovely, lovely bloke. So really looking forward to meeting him in January when we play up in Glasgow. So yeah, Graverape, really happy with that. This is called Exhuming Decay. So yeah, that is the video. I hope you enjoyed it. A nice little short video, I think 16 minutes will do. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and checking out the other content around my fat head. Also like the video if you got to the end to let YouTube know I'm alright. In the meantime, please take care and I'll speak to you guys in the comment section. Cheers.